This is recording. I am not going to waste any time. I have exactly 30 minutes here tonight, and I want to get you guys all of this information. So I know people are probably going to hop on late. I'm recording this. I will upload it to Q Mafia tonight. Who had so much fun at convention that was there? Feels like they took away so much. I leave convention every time just feeling almost completely overwhelmed, like I can't function. Not to mention my calves feel like they're going to fall off my body from walking down 24 flights of stairs. But Casey and I actually stayed a whole extra day this time to sleep and process. And I just have so many takeaways for this. But the biggest one that I want us to go directly into is not wasting a single second of this month. Being in network marketing for a long time, the wave of momentum that comes after conventions is predictable time for you to be able to slay growth in your business. It will happen every single time after a convention if you have worked your way up to it and if you are ready to seize it. Right? Like it's just there waiting for us to ride the wave. The wave is here, y'all. It's time for us to catch a wave with your boogie board or your body or your surfboard, whatever you're riding, and just absolutely slay this month. And my favorite quote out of the entire weekend, there were so many, but my favorite that I wrote down for this training is that you can join a billion-dollar company or you can help build a billion-dollar company. And which one do you think sounds more life-changing? My favorite quote the whole time. It gives me chills saying it again, because that is what we're sitting in right now. And that is what makes this company different, because all these other companies aren't in the phase of the opportunity to help build them to a billion-dollar company, right? They're already huge and saturated, and that's what makes Q different. So we're going to run with the momentum. We work from event to event. If you didn't pick that up from the training at this convention, you probably picked it up if you were at the convention in February, that's literally what we do. That is our business. We're going to an event and then we're working to the next event. And if you do it the right way, you will always be working with that wave of momentum that's coming, right? You're building up and paddling until the wave comes, and then you're riding it, and then you're building up and paddling, then the wave comes and you're riding it. So that's where we're at right now, is being strategic, moving past from convention. So our training tonight is going to be what now? Okay, leading up to the next 6 months till we go to Salt Lake City, which I know probably sounds crazy because you're like, wait, we just left Dallas, but that's where your mind should be right now. What can I do right now? What are my steps for these next 6 months leading all the way up to Salt Lake City? Okay, because so much can happen, you guys. Did anybody else catch the fact that Brittany Hitch was on stage with $1 million check and girlfriend hasn't even been here for a whole year? Okay, so much can happen in 6 months. So number one, I want you to identify what your goal even is. What's your goal? What's your goal for the next 6 months? Okay, that's a lot of time. So I want you to dream big. If you're a builder right now, we're not writing down your goal to be pro. This is a 6-month goal. This is a large goal. If you're like me, you're probably going to make little mini goals in between. If you're like Casey, you're probably a builder writing down platinum and just like, I'm going to figure it out on the way. Okay. Whatever you are, write down your 6-month goal. How are you walking into Salt Lake City in February? What is your promotion going to look like? What's your title going to be? What are you walking up on stage for? Okay. Write it down. Hang it up. Put it where you're seeing it every day. Make a lock screen on your phone. Okay. We are speaking this into existence type of mindset. It's happening. It's not an if, it's a when. And the win is 6 months from now. So write down your goal. I want you to figure out how you're going to track this. Okay. So again, I'm a mini goal tracker, meaning I'm going to write down my big goal for February, and then I'm going to break it down along the way. We have really great tracking sheets in the Q Mafia back, I was going to say back office, but the Q Mafia Facebook page under files, I made little tracking sheets for almost every single promotion. So if you go in there, you can print out what it's going to look like for you to track your way to executive, track your way to bronze, track your way to silver, whatever you're doing, those are there for you. Okay. It's also a nice visual. I hang mine on my fridge each month. Lock in on the goal. Okay. Lock in on the goal, meaning when you wake up in the morning, you're thinking about this goal. When you're feeling discouraged, you're still thinking about this goal. This is the goal. Sometimes people call it marrying the month. You're going to marry the next 6 months. So I want you to just lock in on the goal. Okay. It might not be smooth sailing. I'm going to tell you right now, December might be slow. Mentally prepare for it. We're not changing the goal. We're not changing the goal. We're locking in on it. And I want you to do a full throttle commitment for 90 days at least. Okay. I really believe that it is impossible to be in full throttle 100% of the time. It's just not going to happen. Your body needs rest. Your mind needs rest. Your business needs rest. But you want to be able to hook in for at least a solid 90 days. Now, some of you guys have already been in your 90 days. So if you're in one, finish it out. But if you haven't committed to a push, a full throttle commitment for 90 days, now is that time to commit to that. Okay. So get into your calendar and figure out when is 90 days from now. I want you to set an alarm on your phone or a calendar alert, whatever it is, because when that alarm goes off, I want you to do something to celebrate pushing for 90 days. Okay. No matter what happens in those 90 days, maybe you don't reach a big goal in 90 days. I don't care. Set some kind of alarm in your phone that when it goes off and you've held yourself to this 90-day push, you're going to do something to reward yourself, celebrate your success, or just celebrate the fact that you stayed committed to your business for a full 90 days. That's a big deal. Okay. Goals. If you have a team, you're going to get off this training tonight and go immediately to your team and help them set their goals. Okay. Because we're in an industry where helping other people win helps us win. And it is way more fun when you do it as a team instead of just having it be all about you. So go to all of your people, identify what their convention 2022 goal is, write that down, and hold yourself and your teammates accountable to that. Okay. Number 2, how are we actually getting there? Okay. It's one thing to identify a goal. It's another thing to know how you're going to make it happen. So first things first, again, your leaders, you're going to your leaders, most likely your level 1s, you're personally sponsored, or people that are just absolute rock stars on your team, no matter if you personally sponsored them or not. And I want you to identify what they're working towards. Marielle has a really, really great training on how to inspecting to expect. I'm saying that wrong, but it's on her YouTube, I'm sure. And it's basically just figuring out what people are going for so that you kind of have an idea of the volume your team is pushing to. Does that make sense? If you have people on your team pushing for bronze and they're about 10 orders away from bronze, you can kind of get an idea for what that volume coming into your business is going to look like. Okay. When you have 3 newbies come into a month, you know, okay, that's about 4,500 in volume if I get each of them to executive. Does that make sense? It's going to be different for everyone, but you need to go to your leaders, identify what they're going for, and you're going to track that. Okay. Track it as they're going through it. This is also a great time to do a map. A map is a whole training in and of itself. So maybe I'll do that later this week. But what this means is, you are identifying specifically where that volume is coming from. Okay. So let's say someone needs 10 orders to go executive. They are making a map on a piece of paper numbered 1 through 10, and they are physically writing out where that volume is coming from. Meaning, if they are fully prepared for this month, they have 10 names of new enrollments or new 100 PV customers that are going on that map, and they're writing it down, and then they're highlighting it off as those orders come in to get their full 10. If you're making your map and you don't have names to go on the spots that you need, that means daily IPA, because you got to put the work in to fill that map up. Okay. Map it out. Break it into months. Okay. This is a personality thing, right? Casey and I are very different on this. We actually talked about it at convention. My map is like this, and Casey's map is like, boop. God's going to make it happen, right? That's type 7 versus type 3 for you. I really think breaking into smaller goals sometimes makes it more attainable for people, especially when it's a big push. Okay. So as an example, if you're someone who signed up brand new today and you're trying to go silver by convention, That's 25,000 in volume. If you break that down, I believe it was about 4,500 a month in those 6 months. So rather than just saying, I'm going silver by convention, you're saying, I'm going to go elite every single month leading up to convention, and I will walk in silver. Right? Because you're adding 4,500 a month into your organization. That is a much more attainable goal, because then you can even break it down further, right? 4,500 a month, that's 3 executives. Okay. 3 new executives coming into your organization every single month between now and convention makes you silver. You guys, if that doesn't make it feel attainable, I don't know what else will, because everyone can do that. Okay. Number 3 is the commitment. Okay, you need to marry the commitment. We say marry a lot of things. If that's the seriousness of this, right? This is a business. Marry the commitment. Your goals are not going to happen overnight. It's not. They're not going to happen overnight. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So you need to commit to this. Okay, this is going to be hard. Pushing for these big goals is going to be hard. The difference between someone who succeeds in this business and people who get nowhere near their goals is oftentimes the fact that people give up before they even get started. Okay. This is a big push. The fall season can bring massive momentum. Hello, Brittany Hitch, right? She started in October, guys, blew through ranks, defied all the traditional odds of network marketing seasons, and succeeded anyways. As someone who's not a Brittany Hitch, I've also gone through really slow seasons of winter. And when I pushed through them, when I got through that December Christmas season, I popped into January and people just start coming out of the woodwork like you're like throwing money at them or something. It's insane. But if you're not committed through all the seasons, all the ups and downs, everything that's going to happen between now and January, you're never going to get there. Okay. So it's a mental commitment. I really want to touch on the fact that your kids are not an excuse for your business. They should be a reason why. Raquel did a wonderful post about this today. If you don't follow her, you should. She talked about her kid being the reason why she's here, not the reason why she can't do it. Y'all, Casey is pregnant. I don't know if y'all knew that, but girlfriend has a cute little bump. She's pregnant as heck. She's been super, super sick. And a lot of you might not even know that because she showed up freaking anyways. She's been on calls with COVID and morning sickness, training everybody like nothing even matters because she's so committed to making this happen. She's making the short-term sacrifices, which means she doesn't feel good and she's growing a human and she's here 100% anyways. You guys, everybody has difficult seasons and really busy schedules. This is probably rubbing some people the wrong way, but you are no busier than anybody else on this call, anybody else in this company, anybody else pushing for a big goal in their business. Your life is just as complicated as everybody else's. And we can't let it be an excuse because someone always has something going on. I always have some kind of reason every single day that I could not work my business or work my business a little bit less or take a mental health day because I'm tired, right? I'm not saying none of those reasons are good reasons. A lot of them are good reasons, but the people who get up to these big, huge ranks, these life-changing amounts of income, they're resilient. They're resilient. Despite what is going on around them, they show up anyways, they work hard anyways, and then guess what? At the end of it, their story is crazy and so inspiring because they made it happen despite all the odds set against their favor. So marry the commitment. Figure out what you need to do mentally to show up when you don't want to show up, okay? It is the determination. It's the determination. Show up when you don't want to show up. Work harder than you've worked in the past. Wake up an hour earlier, go to sleep an hour later, like whatever you have to do. I used to be so Miss Susie homemaker. My kids ate homemade meals all the time. I made homemade cookies all the time. My husband and I were just joking about it the other day. Like I bought extra tubs of my kids' football fundraiser cookie dough this year because I was like, pretty sure I'm not going to be making homemade cookies. So the pre-made ones are going to have to do. Like whatever you have to do to get those extra minutes in your day, the extra minutes add up and the hard seasons are short. So just be here and be here and be here. And that is what is going to make your business grow. Daily IPA. Okay. Again, this kind of falls into the previous, but your daily IPA really matters. Inviting to op calls every day, or sending pre-recorded op calls every day, whatever that looks like for you. Daily social media sharing, you guys, that's part of our job. It's not just funsies to make a reel. It's not just funsies to post on your Instagram stories. It's not just funsies to do a live or a wall post. That's part of your job. Our job is social media, okay? If you feel lost in that area, I highly recommend you follow Erin DeCure and watch some of her trainings, because she's a baller when it comes to social media and has amazing tips for this. But just know daily social media is important here, and daily connections. I left this really vague because daily connections could be new followers on Instagram. It could also be people that you meet at the grocery store. I'm talking to someone who helped me carry waters into convention this last weekend. And he was like, so what exactly do you guys do? And then ended up telling me he wanted to leave the hotel industry and followed me on Instagram, right? That's a connection. Make daily connections. Strive to connect with one new person every single day. And that is a non-cue connection, right? Just meet new people, make new friends, hold the door, smile, whatever you need to do so that at night you're like, I connected to this person today and I'm going to stay connected to them. And maybe that turns into me approaching them with the business. Maybe that turns into me building a genuine relationship that someday may or may not have them joining the business, but a new connection every single day. And hold yourself accountable to the daily IPA. Whether that means you're time blocking, where you're setting an alarm for a certain amount of time that you're sitting down to work, not scrolling, or you're doing a daily checklist where you have certain things that you're making sure you check off before your head hits the pillow, but you have to hold yourself accountable to daily income producing activities, or you ain't gonna produce the income, okay? Number 4 is being organized. Organization is what is going to help you thrive here, especially in a season of momentum. Stuff happens fast, like fast. You're sending a lot of messages, and small details can start to slip through the cracks. And when small details start to slip through the cracks, your business is not going to grow as effectively as you're wanting it to. And you can kind of feel like you're spinning your wheels and not getting anywhere. Okay, so organization looks different for everyone. This is a pretty vague part of my training because, like Casey and I, different personalities are going to do this different. There's a million ways to be organized. I really love lists and reports. I feel like reports, we have so many available ones in our back office that are amazing. Okay, these are the ones I recommend. Your new ads. You should at least be doing new ad weekly report, if not daily. If you have a larger team, you might need to run this report daily. Know who's coming into your business. These new people are the easiest way to project where your volume is going to go in the next 30 to 60 days, because new people coming in are committing to executive. Committing to executive is 1,500 in volume each month. And how many executives do you need each month to go silver? 3. Okay, be tracking your new ads, be getting connected with those people, be plugging them into systems. Number 2, you should have a list of your potentials. Have a list of your potentials. If you message someone or reach out for watching your Instagram story and they even reply back with a single yes, they want more info, potentials list. Okay, that person has given you permission to give them information on what you do. That is a potential. Do not let those people slip through the cracks. Get their name on a list. Okay. Leader promotion tracking, you guys. This is something that I've done a couple of different ways. Again, this is something that could be a whole different training, but knowing where your people are at in the process of promoting. And I even went through a phase where I tracked their potentials. Now, again, this works better when you have a smaller amount of people that you're working with, but actually being in conversation with them, like, okay, who are your solid potentials right now? I would actually write them down, not because I want to be controlling of other people's businesses, but because I want to be an extra layer of support that people aren't falling through the cracks. Right? Hey, I have Mary written down. Did you follow up with her? And sometimes people be like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about Mary. Right? So keeping track of your leaders promotions, where they're going with that, maybe who their potentials are, who is actually working towards a promotion. This is important, right? Because you can be checking their volume. Maybe they don't realize they're one order away from executive, but if you have them written down on a list to check in on them, you can be going to them in an encouraging way and also a reminder, hey, did you know you're 82 PV away from executive? And maybe they're like, oh my gosh, no, I didn't realize, someone else must have ordered, right? Track your leaders' promotions. And then finally, personal customers. Personal customers are huge, you guys. Customers do not have the same type of commitment to Q as ambassadors. They are here as a consumer. It is all about me as a customer, as it should be, because they're not working this business. We're providing them a product and a service, okay? Make sure you have a list of who your customers are and you are doing the 4 touches in a month rule. That sounds excessive, but if you want to keep your customers' business, you're going to learn how to do this in a way that doesn't feel like you're just saying, hey, how are your products? Hey, how are your products? Hey, are you going to order again? Are you going to order again? Right? Regularly checking in with people in a conversational format. Hey, I wanted to check in on you. I know last week you said that you were feeling more energy. Is that still going this week? Like, how are you doing? Keep track of your customers, because again, you don't want those to slip through the cracks. And if you have a list of these, which you do in your back office, but some people are tangible and like to write things down, you have actually a report for level 1 customers available in your back office. And you can just make sure you're checking on their accounts, maybe twice a month. You're going through that list and seeing, okay, do they still have their auto ship on? Have they ordered yet? Sometimes people have an auto ship and the auto ship doesn't run through. Just keep track of your customers. That volume adds up fast, even if it's just 24, 34, 12 PV. If that person has a spray, check in on them. Hey, are you still liking your sleep spray? I'm obsessed, right? Also with customers, when you're keeping track of them, these are great people to go to add on recommendations. Hey, I know you've been using the sleep spray and you've been loving it. We actually have a rest oil. Have you looked into that? I'd love to send you some info on it. A lot of people really love rotating back and forth between that, or they'll take their rest oil after dinner so they can kind of start to wind down a little bit and follow it up with sleep spray right before they go to bed, and they are out like a light. Right? Recommendation upselling is really great with your customers that you already have. A customer once doesn't mean that's all they're going to order forever. Maybe they don't know about our new collagen, right? So keep track of your customers. In closing, I said, real talk, this isn't rocket science. Okay. You guys, what we do is not complicated. If you haven't picked up on it yet, it's a lot of repetitive things. Doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's not rocket science. This is dedication and commitment. Dedication and commitment, that's what it is. Anyone could do this job if they are here for it, to be dedicated and committed. If you aren't committed, you won't make it. If you aren't dedicated, it won't happen. If you allow yourself to make excuses for why you aren't showing up, you're not going to hit your goals, okay? Be here for it. Be the person who knows that this is simple. It just takes the hard work. Okay. I'm so excited for this month and the rest of this year. We have so many things lined up, you guys. Build on these 4 steps every single month. We're going to have company momentum mixed with personal momentum if you do. And those 2 together are going to make a volcano explosion in your business leading up to this next convention. Casey and I were talking in the chaos that was us figuring out our last day of that trip, if you were looking on Instagram stories. And I just couldn't stop thinking, and we were talking about what this is going to look like when we go back in February. How many more people are going to be with us? How many of our people, you guys on this call, are going to be going up on stage, getting awards, big checks, being recognized, all of the names of our teammates flashing up on the screens? Like, all of that is 6 months away. And I think sometimes when we're in the thick of it, it feels like forever, because things might not be going our way, or it's harder than we thought, or we didn't want to work today. But when you think about it, 6 months is like that. This convention is literally a blink away. Hustle, Be dedicated, be committed, show up hard for the things that you want to happen in February, because I'm telling you, out of the 4 years that I've spent in this industry, I've never seen anything like what we have at this company. I have never seen people make $1 million in 10 months ever. Our team swept the different award areas. We swept them, you guys. We have an incredible team, an incredible culture. Y'all are on fire. All of those awards you saw get presented to Casey and Katie and myself, that wasn't us. That was you guys, all you guys. And that's what we have leading into these next 6 months. I'm so excited to see you guys in February. I hope this was helpful. I know it was quick. If you have questions, message me. I recorded it and I will upload it in Q Mafia later. Have a really, really great night.